Today in this tutorial we are going to make a Christmas card using Graphic 45's Off to the Races 8x8 paper pad. I selected a few patterns of the green floral, some of the red check design for the parts of my card, and I'm also using a Merry Christmas die cut, some petaloo flowers, and some 1.5-inch red ribbon. I'm using heavy cardstock in white that I have cut into a 5x5 card, and I've gathered all my supplies together, so let's get started. First, we're going to attach a strip of the ribbon to the main pattern base of the card. Using tape, we're going to attach this ribbon to the back side of this layer. I'm using score tape to attach it just to the back side, and then peel the backing off and add more adhesive with a tape runner and attach this piece to the card base. Next, I'm adding the red check pattern paper over that area and then adding another piece of the green on top of the red. Next, cut any type of white frame out of white cardstock. It could be oval or any decorative shape, and attach that to the center of the card with glue. I'm using art glitter glue, and I'm applying it in a thin line onto the back of the frame, and then I'll use my little finger to spread that out and attach it over all the layers of the card. I took some of the 1.5-inch red satin ribbon and tied a large bow, and then I'm using my hot glue gun to attach the bow to the front of the card. Next, I took the white petaloo flowers that look like poinsettias, like small poinsettias, and I pulled the green backing off because I felt that green color was too dark for this particular color of green on the card. And then I took my scissors and cut the stamen out of the center because I wanted to use glossy accent to add red gemstones or red dewdrops to the centers of the flowers. Then I took another petaloo flower that had several stamens in the center and some gold glitter paste and a brush, and I painted the stamens of the flower and also added some of the gold glitter paste to the tips of the flower petals to make this a glittery gold Christmas flower. Set those aside to dry. Here I'm gluing one of the flowers to the center, but later in my finished card you will see that I replaced that with a Santa Claus image from the St. Nicholas collection of Graphic 45. Now take all the other elements of your flower pieces, your picks, your little berries, and glue them in to a nice arrangement above the bow using a hot glue gun. I had die cut out the words Merry Christmas on white cardstock and then used gold embossing powder to emboss the words, and now I am gluing them with glossy accents onto the front of the card. I'm loosely gluing them so that they're not completely flat. And this is the finished card. It's a very pretty card without any of the Christmas elements on it. It's all made out of Off to the Races. But I decided that I wanted to add more of the Santa elements from the St. Nicholas collection, so I glued a cardstock sticker to the center of the bow and tied a chipboard tag to the right of the card using gold twine. And now we will make a box envelope for our special Christmas card. I used the Memory Keeper's envelope punch board to create my box envelope, and I looked on the guide and determined that I wanted a 6x6 basic card, so I cut a piece of cardstock in the cranberry color at 9.5 by 9.5. The guide says that for a regular 6x6 envelope, I need to punch and score at 4 3/4, so that's what I did first. So score the line at 4 3/4 and punch, turn and continue on all 4 sides. Next, to get the spacing that I need for the thicker card, I scored at 4 inches all the way around on all 4 sides. Do not punch if you're using the We Are Memory Keeper envelope board. Next, cut out the corners all the way up to the 4-inch score lines that you made on all 4 sides. Then, to finish the ends of the flap ends of my envelope, I turn the punch board around and reverse punch the tips of each flap to give them a slight rounded edge. And did that on all 4 points. And now we're ready to assemble the envelope box. So I'm going to use score tape. And you want to go ahead and fold all your score lines to get that 1/2 inch edge there for your card. So do that on all 4 sides, score all the lines. And then apply score tape to 1 flap and attach 2 flaps down to it. Make sure that you square up the corners to get it on straight. You want a nice square box envelope. And now we're ready to create a belly band for our closure. I cut 2 pieces of 2.5 inch tall by 12 inch wide patterned paper out of the prints and solids of the 12 by 12 of the Off to the Races Graphic 45 collection, and I'm fitting it around and adding a magnet closure on one end, and then I'm going to pull it around and measure and cut where I need it to close, and then I'll apply the other magnet there on the opposite end, so I have one on the front side and one on the back side so that this overlaps. Next, I'm cutting out scraps of paper to cover the magnets. I'm using solid green over one that's on the print side and the check on the other side. So now my magnets are covered, and I'm wrapping this around my box envelope. I selected the chipboard pieces that I wanted to use out of the St. Nicholas Graphic 45 collection, and I'm adding some of the pattern paper to the back of my chipboard pieces where it will show when it is lifted up. Here I've clamped it down to dry, and now it's complete with a closure. I'm using a hot glue gun to add different elements to this card. I added some gold twine ribbon and some of the pieces of the flowers and the petaloo picks to decorate this. The card fits in nicely and slides out without mashing up the bow or any of the flowers. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great time creating one of your own. Bye-bye.